A few minutes chatting with a man outside the museum who had been at the center during the geisha, not the geisha, but the kimono show, when this rude woman, Japanese, walked right in front of us and takes pictures, right when we're taking pictures. But anyway, just a couple doors down, as you saw from the mindless sweep of the camera, we're here, back in California, 40 years ago. In Manhattan Beach, in Hermosa. A lifeguard, yes it is. Got the first part of the word right. That's Jimmy Buffett. That looks like the old buildings too. I don't imagine there are very many of them left. Just like Japan's been completely redone. Huntington Beach, Surf City. Yep. Looks interesting. All I gotta do is find the entrance. I mean, it's all part of this walled-in complex. And notice how this wall is made with roof tiles. First time seeing this. Would not be unusual in China or else Southeast Asia. When I needed that when I realized I needed a bathroom walking down this side street to this temple, guess what was there? This entire wall, you wonder why this anomaly. Because it's not. Other scraps of detail. So my guess is whatever old building existed here that they demolished, they took the roof tiles and all that and built the wall, sticking what I'm calling anomalies in just for variety. And here you get to the modern, no variety. At least I found a more interesting area. Just a typical narrow street. Okay, this is the temple that we've been looking at from the back. The reference is that the temple was established at Shinomiya in 1488. That's just a little ways from here. But it burned down in the attacks on the Hokkei temples in the Tenbun era, 1532-1544, rebuilt in 1542, Great Fires of 1730 and 1788 totally destroyed the Nishikin area. However, by a miracle, the main hall and the Founders Hall remained intact. And it's been since then called the non-flammable temple. Boy, that's pushing fate. It's mocking it. Starting to turn into a lovely day today. It's supposed to right around noon. Get pretty then. The bell tower. Pretty right now, some large stones. What's interesting are the two, I think, lotus blossom vessels. There's a pretty large entry lantern. And here is what I think is an allusion to a stupa, but on a very new modern building. I remember seeing the outline of the frame that just by itself, wondering where it went. I hadn't noticed. And it's used for this upper story of at least a building like this. Looks like just a pretty little garden, not necessarily associated with any shrine, although it may be tucked back in there somewhere, but with a pretty little water feature and a lovely little local park for people that live in this area, particularly in those high-rises, to have some pretty little respite. Look how clear the water is. You can see the trees, shadows in it. And there the walking stones. Clever. It's an extremely simple little way to make the water feature. If I have finally figured out what direction I'm supposed to go and what street I'm supposed to be on, this is maybe it. In other words, it's the Nishikikōji. It's the Nishikikōji food market. There's a lot of people here. It smells like food. There's even an Irish pub. So it's certainly got to be authentic. Of course, we're in a very authentic area of town. Everything very original. Beautiful young Japanese girl, well, I think an old ugly one, told me I'm on the right street. It's probably going to be in that enclosed area up ahead of us. So since it's a little bit around 12, I believe, we'll be hunting for some place to eat. Not that has to be the defining reason. Side street leading up to it. And I'm just chewing up the last 5 minutes of film here, so I'll change film right now so we can begin Nishiki food court. Again, see how everything's packaged? And those tomatoes, when you buy them, you buy that whole bowl full. You don't buy just one or two. And the pastries here can be very good. I mean, regular pastries. Notice the fish, everything. No real place to sit down and actually enjoy it, except there's a little shop for your kids. I always manage to say exactly the wrong thing at the right time. Now, if only we knew what these little tidbits were. You know what you're looking at, and some of it's pretty familiar. This would be pretty familiar as a deli. What's not, you don't know what that is? Oh, there's little octopus thingies there. Konnichiwa. Some kind of marinated soy. These are vegetables are all familiar. Squash. This is probably just thin, marinated, spicy beef or pork. Kind of got a rough idea what this shop. You can actually try some of these things. They're careful enough probably to pick it up, put it in their mouth or hand without actually getting their on it, so it's sanitary, and they know that. Here's where you can choose what you want. It's freedom. If you know what it is you're getting. This may be that thin spinach or something akin to it. Looks like they've done the same thing to it, probably with some kind of marinade in it. You were buying gifts when you're buying grocery stores here, but you're not. This is the way they package everything. Probably different kinds of rice, if you know what you're talking about. I see the difference in these, but a cook would know the difference. Same thing here. They're all probably different colors. Difference in color between these three. Snacks, if you know what you're getting. Oh, those chickens look like they're some kind of old big. Konnichiwa. Only we knew what these things were. Not that it's necessary to try them, but what all this is. Whoa, what it is. Big horrible. I wonder what it is. I bet it tastes great. Something I am familiar with, junk food, snacks. Various spices, perhaps? More than halfway. I'll turn around now so you can see, so hold on to your chair. Okay, so I got less than halfway to go. Shaved dried fish. Same kind of thing here. These little fish would be used for... This may be chopped or cheese. How to use it. What a surprise that would be for me. That must be a very sophisticated chestnut roaster there. The whole section right in here is the nut section here. Maybe a little squid or something like that, or an octopus or something. Okay, at the end of the food market and the beginning of, look at this, whatever this is, not to mention whatever that is. So I'll go to the left and then come back, see what there is. And was struggling with the key to get into the lock that gets him inside of whatever that business is. Maybe it's his original business. Dodge everything down through here. There's probably some electronic extravaganza up there and down there. Pachinko is a national gambling game. Here at the next intersection, these are perpendicular to the big one we just traveled down, the food mall, is another covered mall. So we'll go travel down through this one. Looks a little more interesting than the last one I looked at. And way down there it hooks to the right, so I can't tell how far this one goes. It's a free sample offer. Just to give you a little flavor walking down through here. Distract myself from here if I can figure out how. Pretty little channel. I believe it runs in the direction I'm trying to go to my hostel. Pretty lined street though, isn't it? Should be a pretty street to live on. Looks like restaurants abound. And near the bike path and the river. Chinese restaurant. Pretty colors for this little house. Looks kind of old, so it might give us a hint of what things were maybe 50, 80 years ago.